Hi everyone. I have a lovely oracle deck to share with you today. It is an independently published oracle deck, and it has been in and out of print and in and out of stock for the last several years. It's actually the second in a series of two. The first one you just can't get, and it's called Ascension to Paradise. Here's the book. It's a very nice book written by Jane Torin, and the beautiful artwork is Joyce Van Doben. So let me show you the box here. There's the box, and there is, you fit the cards in there, and the book also fits in the box. So we'll take a look at the book later. Let me show you the back of the cards here. And here is the back, and you'll see a beautiful feather there. So it is a bird deck. And I'll show you some of the cards in a moment, but it's way beyond just the idea of a bird's eye view. What the author has done is really gone in with her passion and her deep meditations and understandings of each bird that's pictured in the deck, and to really go deep and to bring us an idea of what that bird's message is for us and for our soul. It's a very spiritual type of deck. It is not the type of deck you would just use, I don't know, for everyday situations. It's really a little deeper than that. So here's a few cards. Here are a few here. It's the bee eater here. You'll see they're very colorful. And I mean, I bonded with this deck immediately. Really, I did. To me, the energy was so vibrant and beautiful and healing, and Mother Earth and Father Sky together. So it's not just, another feminine type of deck. It's for anyone and everyone. I think it's beautiful. So there's a few more. And so I had done a reading for someone, and they were asking actually about a health issue and how they can overcome that issue. And a card that came up in this deck spoke about an old story or an old memory that they had that needed to come back up to be looked at and healed, and then pushed out, for them to have the healing that they were looking for. And that was an excellent reading that really resonated with them very well, and they were actually able to articulate what that memory was and what that story was that was holding them back, that was still hurting them. So that's the kind of messages you'll get from this deck. Direction that your soul needs to take. Connection with God's love. Now, this is an older deck. She started writing this in '95, and I think it was first published in 2003. And it was written a little differently than decks would be written today. Today, the decks really are more pagan-based, and they're using more of that terminology, that pagan terminology. This, she's not as much using that. So she'll use, sometimes she'll use words like divine, but often she'll just say God, God's love, and this and that. So, like I said, it's really for anyone and everyone, regardless of what path you're on. I'm going to show you a few favorites. I love this honey eater. This was the first one that I drew from the deck, and it does talk about love and your connection with the divine and self-love, and understanding and building that connection. And I just really like this one as well. This one talks about, that transformation. You'll see the Ouroboros up top there. So it gives you that idea of transformation and that Kali energy. And, there's a few more. The buzzard. There's a beautiful story from the artist about her experience with a buzzard as she was drawing this card. Now there are some spreads in the book, and I just want to show you that the book does give black and white and a little information about the bird, and then the reading. And there are a few spreads in the front, as I said. And one of the things they suggest, especially if you have both decks, which of course I don't, I just have the second one, is that you can do a one-time when you first get the deck to see who your ally is. Who are your bird allies? Well, for me, it was this hoopoe, which I love this card. And it does speak about understanding and doing what it is that we are here to do in the world. And another beautiful card is the Bird of Paradise, and that's the last card in the deck. There are 66 cards in the deck. And the idea of this card is it's almost like the world card in the major arcana, where it's the culmination of all the cards in a sense. Very lovely, very beautiful. So I'll show you a few more. Okay. You know, it's just, if it appeals to you, if you love nature and birds and very spiritual based decks, then I think you will like this very much. And I might, in a couple of weeks, do a reading on YouTube with it so you can get an idea of how it better reads. But I'll see about that. Flycatcher. And every one is beautiful, and as you see, very colorful. I think it will be wonderful for summer. And my intent was to start using it with that full moon lunar eclipse we just had in Libra, Libra being an air sign. So a lot of them, as you'll see, they have minerals and crystals in them. So it's bringing in the earth as well as the air energy. So, show you a couple more. You know what this really reminds me of as I'm working with it and reading through the book? It reminds me a lot of the work that Ian White did or does. Now, I work very closely with Ian White's Australian bush flower essences, and the way he has a lineage of working with the plants and flowers. He also has a lot of knowledge and passion, but also he went in with a lot of intuition to understand each plant and flower and bring that out in a way that we can all understand and can be used. And that to me is very similar with this deck, you know, the way it was brought out. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. It is a very beautiful, very special deck. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye.